David Gilmour had heard thousands of voices in his life. But one day in the early 1970s, he was sitting in a quiet hotel room when a song came on the radio, and he froze. It wasn't the guitar. It wasn't the melody. It was the voice. Deep, rich, raw, and heartbreaking. That was the moment he heard Janis Joplin. Gilmour leaned in closer to the radio, staring at nothing, just listening. The song was Piece of My Heart, and Janis wasn't just singing it. She was living it. He later said it felt like a scream from someone's soul. That raw emotion, that fearless pain, David never forgot it. Even decades later, long after her passing, he spoke of Janis like she was still alive in every note. She made vulnerability powerful, he once said. And for a man like Gilmour, who made a career for making guitars cry, that meant everything. But Janis was just the beginning. The woman who made rock elegant. In the late 70s, Gilmour was going through a period of quiet tension. Pink Floyd was huge, but cracks were forming. He needed a different kind of inspiration. That's when he stumbled upon a band from England with a lead singer who didn't just sing, she haunted. Kate Bush. She was young, strange, and deeply theatrical. Gilmour first heard her demo tape through a friend and instantly said, "I want to work with her." He helped her get her first record deal. He believed in her before the world did. Why? Because Kate Bush didn't try to sound like anyone else. She whispered, soared, howled, and every note was wrapped in mystery. Gilmour saw something rare, a woman who controlled the music without overpowering it. She was magic, he said. Still is. The quiet force. As the 80s rolled in, rock changed. But one voice never faded in Gilmour's mind. It was Stevie Nicks. The moment he heard her with Fleetwood Mac, something clicked. It wasn't just the way she sang. It was her presence. A mix of sadness, fire, and dreams. Gilmour once said that Stevie could make you feel like you were walking through a thunderstorm in slow motion. He admired how she survived the madness of fame, heartbreak, and addiction, and still sounded as if she had just stepped out of a dream. Her solo work impressed him even more. She made pain beautiful, he once told a journalist. There's bravery in that. But Gilmour's list wasn't just about legends. It included surprises, women most people didn't know shaped his music in deep, personal ways. The girl with the fire eyes. Most fans don't know this, but in 1990, David Gilmour sat in a small club in London, watching an unknown band perform. His eyes weren't on the guitars. They were on the drummer, a wild, fearless woman named Sheila E. She wasn't the usual rocker. She came from funk, Latin, and Prince's world. But to Gilmour, she was electric. He said he'd never seen someone play with such joy. Every hit of the drums was like lightning. She didn't just keep rhythm, he said. She led it. He admitted her energy influenced the way he approached live performance later in his career. Less polished, more alive. Watching her reminded him why he loved music in the first place. It didn't have to be perfect. It had to burn. The angel of the underground. There was a time in the mid-'80s when Gilmour felt lost. The Roger Waters drama was boiling. Pink Floyd was on shaky ground. He needed escape. So he turned to his headphones and found something unexpected, a woman named Chrissie Hynde. She wasn't loud like Janis, not mystical like Kate, but she was real. Chrissie, the lead singer of The Pretenders, wrote like a poet and sang like she was talking to you in a dim bar. She didn't want to be a star, Gilmour said. She just wanted to tell the truth. One night, Gilmour saw her perform in a smoky pub. Just her, a guitar, and a broken mic. He called it one of the best shows I've ever seen. It wasn't about the crowd. It was about connection, the one he never met. There's one name that surprised everyone when Gilmour mentioned her in an old interview. Someone he never worked with, never even met, but someone who left a mark on him forever. Amy Winehouse. She had a sadness in her voice I recognized, he said. Gilmour was older, wiser by then. But when Amy's Back to Black album came out, he listened to it alone, in silence. She reminded me of ghosts, he said, of people I've lost, of mistakes I made. Amy's soul-bearing honesty reminded him of Janis. Her jazz-inspired phrasing reminded him of Billie Holiday. But what moved Gilmour most was that underneath all the chaos, she meant it. Every word, every note. She wasn't pretending, he said, and neither do the greats. What these women taught me. At 79, David Gilmour doesn't tour much. He rarely gives interviews. But when he talks about music now, it always comes back to emotion, to honesty, and to these 6 women. They didn't just inspire his songs. They changed the way he felt about music, about fame, about life. They reminded me, he said, that music is meant to move you. It's not about perfection. It's about truth. So whether it was Janice's scream, Kate's poetry, Stevie's dreams, Sheila's fire, Chrissy's rawness, or Amy's heartbreak, each one left something behind in Gilmour's music. And maybe that's why his guitar still cries after all these years. Because it remembers. Because he remembers. And now, so do we.